Oh yeah, hold on. Let me go turn off Siri learning from this app 1 second. There we go. We're in. Yeah, I just turned off Siri learning from this app, and this is the back camera. No, this is the front camera. Hello. I'm gonna do the telephoto camera. Alright, so it's slightly more zoomed in. But what's it called? Let me so basically, let me get this out 1 second. Right, there we go. Right. So basically what's happened, I was cleaning my the microphone on my phone because I give my phone a nice clean, and I didn't, without realizing, I blew the microphone because I thought it was properly sealed off. So I blew the lemon wipe. So I got this toothpick and I just put it in the microphone with this. Without knowing, there was tissue and the tissue just went deeper and deeper. So I got most of the tissue out, but I basically got this and I squeezed it until some of the juice came out and went to the camera. Not the camera, the microphone. I blew into the microphone because I thought it was just gonna reflect back out. Instead, it just goes deeper in the phone, and it goes to my back camera and this. And the telephoto camera. So yeah, everything looks good. Everything looks good right now. My cameras are goddamn foggy. Never mind. I can always take the phone apart and take out the cameras and clean them and put them all back in and whatnot. So I don't know. I might do that. I don't know. But yeah, if this ever happened to you, just let me know. See, because if this was an iPhone 5S, I can easily take everything off because there's no water sealing on there. I can easily take everything out, take out the camera, and easily clean it, put it all back together. There we go. iPhone 5S is the easiest phone to work on. It's a phone it's a 2013 flagship phone, but it's a really, really easy phone to work on. Like, if you want to start off repairing phones, iPhone 5S, the first phone you should start up with, and then work your way up. Well, then obviously when it gets to the the later iPhones, like the iPhone 6S, iPhone later ones, you're gonna have to be dealing with the water sealing around the phone. Now that does require a hairdryer. Now I did have a hairdryer here somewhere, but yeah, I'm probably gonna take this phone apart. Take this phone apart, and I probably has been taken apart. If it has, that's completely fine. I could just take it all apart, take out the back camera, because the back camera, the guy in the video said it was the front camera that went dusty. My front camera only had a little speck of dust in it. Now it's all gone. So now it looks ultra HD. Now it literally just looks like this. My front camera is so clean now. I could even zoom in. And there's not even that much noise. Look at this. I can zoom in as much as I want, and there's not even so much noise because it's mostly HD. So, but it's the back camera that we're trying to work on. Oh my god! I just saw, look at this. You see how the color temperature changes from green to a kind of normal color? Like, that's so strange. It's funny how my phone does that. I'm not sure if I can see that on stream playback, but yeah, you can definitely see it in the preview. Now, I was using this to clean my phone. Luckily, it's not bleached, so I remember the older ones had bleach in them. So what is it then? It's probably alcohol then. I'm really hoping it's alcohol in this because it does. Yeah. Also, I want to know how clean the microphone is because I'm just going to go in the stream playback. I just want to know how clean the microphone is. It probably sounds a lot more clearer than last time. Because I'm probably going to work on this phone. I tried to take this phone apart. Oh my god, it's Ultra HD. Literally. Take this phone apart on this phone. Oh my god, it's Ultra HD. Literally. This phone apart on this phone. Oh my god, it's Ultra HD. Literally. It's funny how that's a thumbnail. What's it called though? Xbox 720. Probably that one. Anyways. Yeah, so I love how HD the microphone is. So the microphone has the advantage of being so HD. But I was just working on the microphone, but I wasn't working on the actual cameras. But anyways, never mind. I mean, it's not really a big thing, is it? I could take the phone apart if I know what to do, and because last time I tried to take off the screen. I got a screen replacement for this phone. I tried to take off the screen, and a piece of glass flew right at my face, and this is like, come on. Then when I turn the phone on again, I can just see like those lines, and there was no picture. There was an LCD, like there was a backlight, you know, but there was just lines across the entire screen. I couldn't even see the picture. It was black, but it had a bunch of lines. So unfortunately I didn't have any pictures of it, but whatever. This camera it's still got that stain, but I mean it's still HD. Look. If I zoom in, it's still got a bit of noise, but that's honestly that's completely fine. It doesn't have to be so HD. It still sees stuff through that lens. Now, I probably am still going to take the phone apart. I mean, I can do it any day. It really doesn't matter. At least the phone's still working. It's not a big deal for me. Seriously, it's not a big deal. I can even do with this camera as well. I noticed this camera did that before. Everything's still HD though. I can't zoom in. Obviously not. But I would prefer working off the back camera, because the back camera is obviously better. It's wide angle. That's yeah, I'm not gonna say too much, but yeah. So I like the wide angle because it's wide angle, you know. Like this is a wide angle as well. Now this is also optical video stabilization. When I move the phone, you can actually see the lens moving. I noticed the optical video stabilization probably about 3 months ago. It wasn't in an iPhone though. I noticed it in an Android phone. I noticed, right? I was like this. I was like, oh, actually no. You know what? I'm gonna enable it 1 second. Where's it going? Streaming, camera settings. All right, let's do standard. There you go. You see how the picture looks wobbly? It's because yeah, optical video stabilization. I can literally see it now. Look. I remember that. Do you guys remember that phone which I recorded a video in HDR? I remember whenever the camera made like it was some sort of thing in the camera or the microphone or something made it was a very funny frequency noise. But I remember like in that phone, like the picture would move like this. All I'm doing with this phone, I'm just doing this. Literally just doing that, and then because of the optical video stabilization, is doing this. Yeah. That's optical video stabilization. I could also go cinematic mode. Let me try cinematic mode. Cinematic. This is cinematic mode. 1 second. Alright. Never mind. I accidentally turned my phone off. Yeah, cinematic is way, oh my god, edge to edge. That is a very clear sign. Wow. wow. I wonder if the other camera has it. Hold on, because look, you see Cinematic has it. Let me see back telephoto. Hold on. Can't tell if this one has it. Oh, it does. Wow, that's crazy. So the telephoto camera even has the stabilization as well. I like the wide angle camera because it's wide angle. Now, obviously, I'm going to turn this back off because I don't want this to drain my phone's battery. Second. No, not that. Now, this is obviously with the stabilization off. You can just see how shaky it is. But yeah, this phone has the optical video stabilization. This camera is actually pretty good on this phone. It shoots 4K, but it only shoots at 30 frames. It's alright. It's not too bad, is it? Because 4K at 30 frames, I'm completely okay with that. As long as it shoots 1080p at 60 frames, that's really, really good. Also, right, this thing heats up a lot because of the back is metal. You can probably already tell what phone this is with the metal, the matte black finish on the back. Yeah, so this phone has the A10 Fusion. This is the only iPhone to ever feature the A10 Fusion. There was no other iPhone that had it. Only this one. Then after that, Apple quickly went to the A11 Bionic, which they put in the phone after this, and the newer models with no home screen, with no home button. It was all digital, so you have to unlock it like this. Ready? Oh, I'm trying to show you, like, look. That's how you would unlock the phone. And then to go into the thing, yeah. I'm very quickly clicking the button to basically emulate what's going on. So, yeah, this phone right now, the back is quite warm. Yeah, so what's it called? You can probably see the things I used here. I even tried to use a straw to suck out all the what's it called? What's the thing called? What's it called? The moisturization, like, you know when you do this and it basically goes all blurry, and then when you blow it does this. Let me show you guys. Hold on. Clean this phone. Not ready. Look. That was in the phone's camera, the back camera, and what's it called? You kind of say it was my fault because I should have just let it just settle in, not just blow out the back cameras like that. But anyways, never mind. I can easily just go in here someday and just clean the two camera lens, and also clean because it's mostly the glass than the camera lens. It's mostly the glass it's at, so it really doesn't matter so much, does it? Like, I can easily just take the back cameras out. I can still clean the lenses. Then I could clean the glass that goes for the cameras, and I could clean them very, very gently and everything with this, and then put it all back together, and then just see the ultra 4K performance that this phone gives. Yeah, so this phone's amazing. I just cleaned out the speakers, and obviously I cleaned out the microphone. It's ultra HD quality. I have the audio quality on low. It's not even on high. Oh, pardon me. It's the audio quality is on low, so it's not even. This phone is very high end, but what's it called? The microphone. I put the audio quality to the lowest to save kilobits, but I still get very good HD audio. It's not like it changes it to like MP2, like where it sounds like a toy. Who would even want that? I don't know. But yeah, this is the minimum. I always go for the minimum. Now the kilobits, I have that as the minimum as well. You don't want to have it too low though, because then it's going to be quite pixelated then, the stream. So I usually keep it at the default value, which is 25,000 kilobits. And that, honestly, that seems pretty good. Yeah. So anyways, guys, wait, I wonder if I can, obviously I could zoom in. I wonder if I can fill these two bars out to the side. Anyways, yeah, so, what's it called? You probably know what phone I've got by now. If you don't, well, just keep on looking, and yeah, so, anyways, so, I, literally, all I wanted to do, right, because there was dust in the speakers and the microphone. I managed to clean all that out, because that was really easy, but the microphone for the back camera, that's really hard to clean out. I don't know how you would do that. You might have to get a special sort of kit or something, because now I've got mostly tissue in there. I wonder though if you could change microphone modes to the back camera, because I know there's you could record stereo sound, and stereo sound sounds amazing. Basically what it does, it records like audio from this and the internal microphone, which I like. I think even this phone has it as well, where you see this tiny dot in the middle between the camera and the flash. That's the microphone there, and that microphone captures all the audio. Now, I would just capture audio through this, but obviously, yeah, you know how that's gonna be. So it's gonna be way better. And obviously, the microphone in the older iPhone, it's like this. It's definitely the same size as the speaker, but it's definitely bigger. Now, I do like the wider microphone because it does pick up more sound. I'm not saying that's not picking up more sound. That still picks up very good sound. But what I'm saying is, mostly through the phoning speaker, for some odd reason, when I go on the Discord call, it always picks up the audio of the microphone through the phoning speaker. This phone doesn't actually do that. This phone, instead of doing it through because what I like about this phone, when Apple released this phone, they said, well, when I first got this phone ages ago, I noticed that straight away. I noticed that this thing has stereo sound because I was always used to the single speaker, which is just mono audio. And now I've got stereo audio. I've got one speaker here, with the phone speaker and this speaker working together to make a very good stereo experience. So, there's so many things in this phone. A little bit more features than that. They're both the same size, it's got more features. And obviously the home button is solid state, not like a actual clicky home button. What actually emulates the home button is the sound. The speaker makes the tick sound, and the along with the haptics going tick. So yeah, there you go though. This phone, haptics wise, is very haptic. I really like it. Anyways, yeah, so this phone on a Discord call, it doesn't pick up audio through this. You know why? Because it actually picks up audio through this microphone here, which I've obviously every single time I go on a Discord call on a new phone, I always test to see where the microphone, which microphone, because there's obviously. This could still be a microphone as well. If there's no audio being outputted through this could still be a microphone. And I'm not joking with you guys. This could literally be. You can make this a stereo microphone. Literally, it can capture audio from here and here. Probably even like a stereo times one. Stereo, you got two here, but you've also got another one there. So you've got 3 microphones recording, and that's pretty good. Imagine if the speaker itself can also be a microphone. That'd be 4. That'd be quad audio, almost surround sound. I like that. But anyways, the speaker would have to act like a microphone as well. But I don't think the phone can do that. So, anyways, though, yeah, you can probably see the. You can still see a lot of details. There's just a very, very, very slight bit of ghosting. I noticed there was a lot of ghosting there before, but as you can see, it's doing a bit of autofocus there. If I zoom in, it doesn't look terrible. Look, there is a lot of noise though, but it's because I'm not shooting in 4K. If I was shooting in 4K, then obviously you won't see this noise, would you? There will be way less noise. But obviously I'm shooting at 720, so obviously it's gonna be like that. Now I did have the option to shoot at 60 frames, but what's the need for 60 frames? You can obviously shoot at like 720. 720 is completely fine. In my opinion, I think 720p at 60 frames is just good enough. I think, well, yeah, for like the front-facing camera, that's completely fine. Same with the back camera, you don't really need a lot of quality. It also saves a lot of space. So 720p at 30 frames, it's not too bad. It's alright, but I would personally shoot video at, if I had the option for 60 frames, 720 at 60 frames, I'll definitely shoot it at that. 1080p at 60 frames is really HD though. Like it shoots HD and it's amazing. I really like it. But yeah, I would just suggest if you want the best sort of performance, I would just shoot at 1080p, not 1080p, 720p at 60 frames, or the other way around, 1080p at 30 frames if you want. I don't know. I usually shoot at 1080p at 60 frames because I like 60 frames and it's extremely smooth and it's high quality. Again, that takes 160 megabytes, so there's quite a lot of space it takes there. But yeah, I would record on an older phone. I wouldn't really record at 720p at 60, just because it's an older phone. You don't really need to. I don't know. Maybe a phone with optical video stabilization, maybe. But with this phone, definitely. With this phone, maybe. With an iPhone 5S, I don't think you do. I mean, iPhone 5S doesn't even have optical video stabilization. This phone, I think it's dead. Yeah, anyway, I like how the entire housing of this phone is extremely strong. Also, the edges of this phone is also like crazily strong. But obviously this phone has some fragile parts and whatnot, so yeah. What the fuck is that? Can't tell if that's a moth or if that's a worm creature. 1 second. Also, worm creature. Getting so many woodworms for no reason. Thing is, I don't even know where the hell they come from. They just come from nowhere. Oh yeah, also, with iOS, I think this was from like iOS 12 or something. I remember, with this, right, you can adjust how bright you want it, and obviously, go that bright. I usually have it as at this. I usually turn this. If you look at it, what about this? If I zoom in, because obviously it's too bright for my eyes, so I'm just gonna zoom in. Come on, exposure. There we go. You can see where it only has two LEDs on. One of the the bottom LED is off. Yeah, so the bottom LED is off. Let me cover that up. You can probably sort of see it. Yeah, that's why I like it, because it's saves a lot of power. So yeah, there you go. Easy as that. That's why I like the newer iOS version. I don't think you can do this in iOS 9. Maybe. No, actually, no. You can't do that. You can't do this in iOS 9. But I think in iOS 11 or iOS 12, that's when I think they implemented this. But yeah, this is it's a very useful feature though. Cause you can just do 3D touch and it'll go, and then you can just like turn it on and off. Now, it's funny how the iPhone 5S, all the iPhone 5 models, iPhone 5S especially, because, that's the phone I've got. That phone, for some odd reason, right? What was I going to say? Yeah, I think iOS 12 was supposed to be haptic on that phone, but obviously that phone doesn't have a haptic engine. It's got the old style rotary, the old style vibration motor that's on the all the way to the top of the phone. Oh, it's obviously good when it's in your pocket because you can actually feel it. Phones with the haptic feedback, so phones with a haptic engine, which would be right here, just underneath the battery, they're amazing. Now that was since the iPhone 6. I'm not sure if that was there in iPhone SE, but I know that was there in iPhone 6. And obviously in 6S it got a little bit better. They've improved some things in the 6S. That's why it's a better phone. And obviously this is the most improved version. You just see how shaky things are without the optical video stabilization. Now, so it's a good feature, but obviously I want to save my battery and everything, so I don't want to. I also want to save RAM as well, so I don't want to have that enabled just yet. Maybe when I'm like, maybe when I feel like it. Obviously, yeah. Optical video stabilization. Definitely have it for recording. For streaming, probably not. Anyways, I'm gonna just zoom in or just go close to this thing, see how much of a bokeh I can get on this. How much bokeh can I get on this? Let's see. How much bokeh are we getting? Okay, that is purely HD. I like how the cameras can see through the residue. If that residue was something worse, so like nail polish remover or anything like that, then the entire thing would just be blurry. The phone would try and make it not, like, it would try to enhance it, but yeah, as you can see, natively though, yeah, very nice. I love even this. I mean, it's barely visible on the camera, but when you look at the camera itself, yeah, it's there. But when you're actually streaming, it's not there. So you just see all the details. Now, I would probably one day, only one day, because thing is, right, I need to get a heat gun. Because the things I do sometimes, mostly when I want to take apart a phone, because I've got the screwdrivers, I've got everything to take apart a phone, right? I've got the entire iPhone repair kit over there, which I've fixed my PC with before. I've also fixed another thing with it before. I think that was the CPU pins on the PC. Yeah, basically, my iPhone repair kit is extremely useful. But yeah, basically, I'm gonna use that. Because this phone, I've learned in a YouTube video, this phone, when you open it, it's supposed to open like a book. So this phone, pardon me, this phone is supposed to have triangle or Y-shaped screws. That was literally there purely for security reasons, because when somebody would get into the phone, right, they most likely they won't have that screwdriver. Luckily, with this iPhone repair kit, I've got that screwdriver, so I can easily just take this off. Now, I would definitely like to take this phone apart without having to always like the phone shop I go. Well, yeah, the phone shop so far away from me, and it's like takes a lot of petrol just to go there. You know what I mean? Like 30 quid per gallon per gallon of petrol. Spending 30 quid every single time we want to just go there for one literal reason. So why not save that money? Do it at home. Take out the camera lens. Give the two cameras a nice gentle clean, like I do with my lasers, for the stuff. And then clean the inside of the back glass where the stain is on both sides. Then put the cameras in. Turn the phone around like this. Check the cameras. I can still see the thing, but it's not big of a deal, is it? And then just if it's looking a lot more HDier than last time, there you go. That's how you get ultra 4K HD content. Yeah, and then I basically just put the phone back together. What I've seen a few minutes ago in this video, this guy got dust in his camera, in his front-facing camera, front facing camera is not this camera, it's actually this camera. This is what you call a front facing camera because it's facing you, it's in front of you, that's why. And the back camera is on the back of the phone. That's why they call it the back camera. So basically, there was dust in this camera, right? And basically what the guy did was he said he obviously didn't have a heat gun because he was kind of like me, which I don't have a heat gun either. He heated up the edges where the water seal is. Then he took off the phone, and then he obviously used because with this phone, I used a metal screwdriver, a metal flathead screwdriver to take off the screen, and obviously that's when the glass flew in my face. And obviously, what's it called? Yeah, so he pried open, he kind of pried it all in, and he took off the screen and everything, I saw. And then he basically he said he got this, and he basically did the method like this, and he cleaned it. And obviously I was thinking, yeah, that will scratch the camera a little bit, but if the camera doesn't, obviously the camera won't see it. Obviously when you shine it in the light somehow, you can see just how HD this is. Now obviously I can give this camera a little clean right on here. Yeah, the camera's all wet. Obviously the camera can't see that. So that's lucky that the camera can't see it, because if it was, then anything, if it's like, say if the glass was like blurry, now you can see it's ultra HD. Look at that. So yeah, what's it called? Yeah, as I was saying though, like if the glass on the front behind, so literally just in front of the camera, but it's not on the outside of the phone, it's in the inside. If that bit was blurry, then the camera won't quite see it because it's closer, it's out of focus. It will ghost a little bit, it will ghost the screen a little bit. If it's on the outside of the phone, that's easily fixable. You can easily just get a obviously I've got the only thing, I don't even have baby wipes anymore because I've got a shortage. So I'm using lemon wipes. And obviously a dry tissue. Like you just see me do. Yeah, so I literally just use these two, and it does the job. Now that's also what I'm probably even going to use now. Obviously you can use a Q-tip on that. I remember when I took apart my iPhone 5S, I did give the camera glass. I took out the camera lens. I remember that because I unclipped it, and I took out the actual camera piece of the phone, and I just cleaned the thing with the baby wipe, I think it was. Then I cleaned it with a dry tissue, made sure it was really clean. Then I cleaned the connectors of the thing, and then I just put it all back together. Tested everything, and it works perfectly. So there you go. Now obviously, yeah. So as I was saying, the guy was using so obviously the glue. Now most people say, right, you are supposed to use a replacement water seal. This guy didn't have a replacement, so what he did was he took his phone apart, and he literally just he put the screen back on, put the screws back on, but then he was holding it really tight, not to the point where it would break the back glass, just holding it really, really tight. And he was heating up the glue again. And then that could actually work, like you don't have to replace it every time. It really depends though, because if it's like a black water seal, I can easily just clean that with the baby wipe, and then just with a dry tissue, and then clean the screen as well, the back of the screen. Put it all back together, then it would be working. It's gonna make it more rubbery. The more rubbery it is, the more water is stopped. Obviously, yes, it will trap a little bit more heat inside. That's obvious. But I mean, how else are you gonna make it waterproof? It's got to be waterproof somehow. So there you go. I would I mean, Apple probably does it these days, with the latest iPhones, you got the massive kind of microphone there. I think the microphone's a little bit more bigger now on the latest iPhone. My God, the cameras are massive on that thing. I've seen it in person, right? The iPhone 13 today. Oh my God. Absolutely just, the cameras are so massive. They're way massive than this phone. You can see how this phone has a small camera. It's not too small. It's all right. But the cameras were literally about each camera was about the size of these two. They were massive camera lens, right? But yeah, they were amazing. I'm not even sure if that phone even can shoot 8K. Probably still 4K, but whatever. A15 Bionic. That's what I really like about that phone. Amazing. Yeah, so what's it called? So yeah, the guy used the same hairdryer to kind of heat up the residue when the phone was all back together. Then he basically tested this camera here. And what do you know? It's HD again, because obviously he got the dust out. Now, obviously that's obvious, because when the residue of this first went into my phone, I was like, yeah, how am I going to take this thing apart? I can't take it back to the phone shop. You know what I mean? Like, even if I've got a warranty, so far away, I can't do it. So I would just get a screwdriver and take this phone apart. Obviously, I would use a hairdryer first. Because of my mistake before in the past, I didn't use a hairdryer on this. I just, all I did was, I took apart this phone without the hairdryer, because I thought it would probably just come off without. But the glue was so strong on this phone, so I had to obviously, I didn't know. It was my first time taking apart a phone with a water seal on it. And yeah, it didn't go well. So obviously I took this to the phone shop, and I got the screen replaced on it. And ever since then, I did not touch the phone I didn't try to take the phone apart, because I knew what was I knew what was gonna happen, right? So I kept it like this for ages and ages and ages. It still is like this, still working. I do have a OEM original screen over there somewhere I could use with this phone, obviously, yeah. But yeah, what's it called? If this phone had the option for an OLED screen, I would definitely get an OLED screen for this phone, because because this phone has an LCD screen. Obviously, it's not a TN panel. It's some shitty third-party LCD. When I move the phone like that, you can see, if I turn it back on, it literally inverts the colors. Now, that's not really supposed to happen. This is because, what was the thing called? This is because, what's the setting called? Reduced white point is on. It's on 100%. That's why it's ghosting a lot. If this was an OLED, it would not ghost one bit. It would just appear darker. That's completely fine, because OLED doesn't use a backlight. Soft OLED, I would say, is the best. Not hard OLED. It's not really. Well, it's kind of a hybrid, I would say, because it's like kind of OLED, but it's also just a little bit of LCD as well at the same time. It's not. I mean, it's all right. It's not too bad, but as you can see, the shadows on my face are rendering really nicely there, because this camera is clean. Now, obviously, having a clean camera, front and back, you get the most clearest picture. If your camera lens is foggy and you don't remember what happened to your camera, just take a look just kind of put your phone in the light, just see what's going on with the camera. Just look at the camera lens, and then if nothing looks wrong with it, and there's some fingerprints on the what's it called? There's fingerprints on the surface of your phone where the camera is, then pretty much like this, right? If there's fingerprints, there we go, you can see it now. If there's fingerprints like that on your camera lens, just clean it. even if you're making a quick video or anything, just literally just do this, right? So you've got your shirt, or you've got your trousers. Literally just do this. It only takes a few seconds. And then it's sort of, oh my god. I think that was there before, wasn't it? Yeah, it was. I remember that being there before. Now, as you can see how much of a difference that makes now. You can actually see it's Ultra HD because the camera lens, right, rubbed against my leg. Because the clothing on my leg is soft. It's almost like a cloth, and it cleaned everything off. If you just got your shirt, just use your shirt, easy. If you want to clean your phone screen like this, you see how this phone screen is like that, yeah? All you do, just give your phone a nice kind of rub against your leg or something. Right? Look now. It looks way more clearer. When you turn the phone on, nothing's in your way. You can easily just unlock it. And I know everything looks backwards, but I don't know if that's how it looks on the stream. But yeah, everything looks a whole lot more clearer, as you can see. I love how the colours pop on that. I love how the colours are popping on this phone. It's very IPS-like, you know what I mean? But yeah, even if the soft OLED screen wasn't IPS, I'll still get it. Because it's OLED, I'll still get it. IPS, I love the colours on IPS, right? Because of the iPhone 6s, it's got the original screen. Because I bought the phone myself. I bought it in the box, and I didn't get it on launch. Obviously, I got it like probably 2 years after 2 years after launch, right? It was still in the store. I literally just bought it, and I got it in. I got it like fresh in the box. It was all sealed as well, and took it home, unboxed it, and this iPhone isn't turning on right now. This is the same phone from all the way back then. And this is kept in original condition. Nothing has been replaced on this phone. Everything is how it is. Yeah? No cameras, no phoning speaker, nothing has been replaced on this iPhone 6s here. I've been using this phone, even this phone, for my streams as well. Back in 2021, I think it was. 2020, I didn't really use this phone so much because I was more attached to the 5S. I think it was 2021 or I think like near the end of 2020. I think I upgraded to iOS 14 for the first time because I looked at iOS 14 on other people's phones, and I was like, dark mode, because back then I had iOS 9.5.3 or 3.5, one of those two on this phone. I kept it so clean, I didn't even update the software on this thing. I kept it in original condition, original software, original everything. I just put a screen protector on there and a nice case on the back, and that's it. And even this thing, I don't think it has optical video stabilization, but this is still a very, very good phone. Just for 4K content, it's an amazing phone. I really like it. The camera lens does appear to be dark, but obviously it makes it better. It makes it better for the more darker it is, the more original it seems, I would say. Yeah, I didn't even let any dust go in there either. So one thing is, yeah, the battery health, that's something. I think that's like 86%, a little bit better than my iPhone. That phone, whatever. I've used the phone. I put a little bit of stress on the phone, but guess what? With just 1 GB of RAM, everything worked fine. It was a powerful phone for iOS 9, though. That's something. What else? Yeah. My first ever phone, I guess, to feature optical video stabilization, it would be that phone that I used back 2 years ago for the HDR video. If you don't know what phone that is, oh my god. Just watch my video on my main channel. This is my main channel. I'll show you my main channel right now. My phone's on 5%. Right, so basically, let me show you this, ready? So I'm just going to wait for Any notifications? Nothing. Okay. Basically, go to my channel. This is my channel. This is my main channel. 131. Nice. Yeah, as you can probably see, I rarely post videos on here because I'm mostly going live a lot of the time. Now, as you can see, this is my main channel. I post videos from my actual cameras. I rarely ever post videos from my phone. So I would just record at 720 at 60 frames because it still looks as good. But I might even do it on a loader. I don't know. I only do it just to save space because I want to save space. The more space you save, the more efficient it is. And the more efficient it is, the more power you're saving. The more RAM you're saving is also good as well. But yeah, I still have optical video stabilization, but just 720p. Oh. I don't know what happened there. I think my hand just accidentally pressed the screen or something. My screen is really sensitive to my hand. Because I remember recording a video earlier on, then it didn't stop recording halfway because my hand accidentally touched the screen. You see what I mean? This phone, not really. You know, a mistake that I made, not a lot, but a mistake I really hate making, is when I'm on this screen. When I'm on this screen here, you can see this optical video stabilization. When I'm on this screen here, I press record, then I think I'm recording. Yeah, I think I'm recording because obviously my hand is kind of blocking the record button, so I'm not sure if it is recording or not. So then I think it's recording, and then I kind of move my hand away to see, you know, how many minutes I've been recording for, how many seconds. Then I'm like, why is it wasn't recording the whole time, you know? And that's happened to me twice, and I really, really hate that. It's happened to me a lot. Well, twice is what I remember. Oh my god. You see how my phone was on 5%? It just jumped down to 3% because 60 frames per second takes a lot of storage. I mean, yeah, it takes a lot of CPU power, battery power, whatever. It takes a lot of power. A lot of CPU processing, I know that. Yeah, so 720p, it's alright. I would just record at 1080p 30 frames to save a little bit of space because 60 frames is a little bit powerful, just drain a lot of battery, but I think 720 is completely fine. Yes, it's less quality, but I mean, it's like, you know, what do I record every day? You know what I mean? It's not like I'm recording videos daily, or I'm trying to make the best 4K Ultra content. So yeah, maybe after the stream, if I do have the option for 720p at 60 frames, I'll set it to that because it's less quality and it's overall better. Now, I'll show you guys on this phone. I don't know if we have it or not. We do have you can record at 4K. It does record 4K, but I'm not sure if it views in 4K. 720p at 240 frames. So as you can see, yeah. Can it do 720? Oh no, it can't. I thought there was an option for 720p at 60. Never mind, it doesn't do that. For some very odd reason, it doesn't do 720p at 60 frames. That's very odd. Show Powell. Can you do 720p at 60 frames? You can do 25 frames, make it more cinematic-y, but yeah, I would just record. Obviously, if you record at 30 frames, there's gonna be no optical video. If I go here, I don't think there is optical video stabilization, is there? Oh wait, there still is. Look, but it's not in 60 frames. One second, let me take a closer look. Is it still recording? Yeah, it's still. I can see the camera lens moving. Look, when I do this, I know it's not the light. Because look, if I just do this, you can see it's yes, it's in 30 frames, but it's a little bit more. You know. Yeah, there is less quality. Obviously, what do you expect? 720p. It's obviously not going to be the best. Now if I try to record a video here, do horizontal. Alright, so this is a video at 720p. It's not bad, but I wanted it to be the option for 720p at 60 frames per second because I like to save space, but also have 60 frames because I like 60 frames. 30 frames just not too bad, as you can see here. It's not as smooth as 60 frames. It's not the same. It's a lot like my live stream now. Look at this. A lot like the motion blurs and everything is like my live stream now. Right, now we take a look. Alright, so this is a video at 720p. It's not... Shit. Bad. But I wanted it to be the option for 720p at 60 frames per second because I like to save space, but also have 60 frames. I like how much noise do we have in the pictures? If I just... How much noise? I don't know, man. There is a lot more noise. Because it's 720p, there is more noise. I can definitely see a lot more noise going on here. Compared to 60 frames, I think... if I had the option for 60 frames, I would definitely do it. I'd always record at 720 at 60 frames. You're losing quality, but you're keeping the frames the same. It's a lot like my live stream now. Look at this. A lot like the motion blurs and everything is like my live stream. Yeah. This is the reason why I record at 1080p at 60, because as you can clearly see, it's not really the best. I could do 30 frames if you want me to, but whatever, I'll just do 60 frames because it's going to take a lot of battery. Yeah. It's just better overall. So my phone is at 1%. I didn't do it too long there because obviously what's it called? I didn't do it for too long there because I know it would drain the battery, because 60 frames is powerful. Whenever something runs 60 frames, the reason why it always heats up a lot more because it's taking a lot more power. It's taking more power to render it. 60 frames, trust me, it's not easy to render. It's a lot harder than 30. 30 frames is easiest. It's really, really easy to render, but 60 frames is not. 60 frames is really hard to render. So, makes sense why. Yeah, so what's it called? The residue is dried up on my camera, and my exposure is going dark. As you can see, everything still looks alright though, you know, even if this thing has optical zoom. Now you start to see the noise there, don't you, yeah? It's fine if there is noise, because it's still digital anyways. The only optical part I would say is the video stabilization and maybe the zoom in. Mostly the zoom in is always digital, but you know, the digital zoom is I don't recommend digital zoom because it's so bad. There's so much noise. It's just cropping in the image. The reason why it looks like it's zooming in so smoothly because that's the software zooming in, making it look like it's optical zoom or something, you know. Even though in reality, when you go on like one of my cameras or when you do digital zoom on that, you can see it's cropping in the image. It's literally doing this. Yeah, it's not the best. That's why optical zoom, yeah, you get less lighting when the camera zoom in, but you at least, and I mean at least, you are getting you're still getting like you don't get any noise. It's all still Ultra HD like how it is. Obviously for DSLR there's no... Some DSLRs don't even have zoom lens. Some do, some don't. Some just have manual focus. It's a fixed focus. Not fixed, but... Fixed... It's a fixed lens, so it doesn't zoom in or out. And the focus on there is manual. And then there's also aperture as well. I like the aperture one as well. Anyways, yeah, so... As you can see, it doesn't look too bad, does it? I can't tell if that's just my eyes or is that actually just looking a little bit ghosted there. See, if I go close to it, it should just adjust. Yeah, that's fine how it is. I mean, it doesn't really matter. But yeah, I'm gonna still keep searching for an OLED screen for all of my phones because obviously that phone I did capture that video, that HDR video, that phone had an OLED screen. Not any OLED screen, AMOLED. Isn't that just crazy? It has an AMOLED screen. You can literally oh man, it has, and you know, that's where I was like, what is this weird thing going on with the picture? You know, when I would kind of shake a little bit when I would take the picture. That's the optical video stabilization thing in the lens itself. That's why it does that. So then it tries to optically keep it stable. Digital stabilization, not the best. That uses the gyro of the phone, and the gyro of the phone, I think it's a 6-axis gyro or something like that. Or it's a 3-axis gyro, something like that. Yeah, I would never use digital stabilization. I would only use optical because I know optical will work way better than digital. Digital, I mean, for home buttons to emulate things like home buttons and sounds and whatnot. The haptics on iPhone, really like it. But the other stuff, like the camera side of things, when you zoom in, zoom out, when you zoom in digitally on an older iPhone, you could definitely see all the noise in the picture. Not ideal, is it? I would prefer at least 2 or 3 times optical zoom. That's what's in the iPhone 13. You got optical zoom there, so yeah. Imagine if they have 10 times optical zoom in an iPhone. Maybe in the iPhone 20. Maybe. They might have 5 times optical zoom or 4 times optical zoom, and like maybe in the next iPhone they might go even higher and higher and higher. The more you have, the more optical zoom range you have, the better it is, because there's more zoom it's doing. So if you could take away the software zoom and just have the optical zoom, I'll definitely have it there, because I do not need digital zoom. I've only got it on my phone because I don't have the option to turn it off. I'll probably have to jailbreak my phone to do that. Yeah, also another thing I've realized, when the camera would focus on the camera app, for some odd reason it doesn't switch to this camera. It only stays on this camera for some odd reason. So it's using the wide angle camera for everything for some odd reason. Really don't know why. But anyways, yeah, I've got to go test another thing now, see if that still works. Hopefully it does. Actually, no, yeah, it does. Yeah, it does. Never mind. It might work even better now, because even probably that's even clean as well. But yeah, seriously, if you have enjoyed today's stream, you know what to do. Yeah, I've told you hundreds of. One second. See if I can get this out. Don't turn off the phone. Don't turn off the phone. Taking the phone case off. I need to clean the power button. Might do that afterwards. Might even take out the SIM card as well. Give the SIM a nice clean. But yeah, if you have enjoyed today's stream, you know what to do. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.